So, hey guys, just want to tell you guys about my healing journey. And healing is something that you constantly are working on, right? Health, wealth, love, and happiness. You're constantly working on healing. Like, you're constantly working on that. That's not something like, oh, I'm healed. That's that. Like, I mean, it's not like a cut. Like, I get a cut on my finger and, it's bleeding and 2 days is healed. No. Like, when you have trauma, especially black people from 455 years ago, from our ancestors and our slaves and, all of that stuff, like all of that trickles down emotionally, physically, mentally, especially mentally, financially, especially finances. So, growing up as a young girl, now, for kids, we don't know what healing is. We don't know what hurt is. We don't know what pain is. We don't even know we're poor. We don't know that. Like, we don't know my mom's poor. My mom's living check to check. She can't eat. Like, we don't know none of that as kids, right? I think God I think God shields kids from that headache, right? Because kids really shouldn't experience that type of headache anyway. So, I can remember at 14 years old, right? And my mom was not, because again, she's hurt. So all she did was pass her hurt down, right? She didn't know how, right? Nobody gave her resources. She felt like she was the black sheep, of the family. Like, nobody cared about her. Nobody even looked at her. Nobody even looked for her today. So she's still going through her trauma and, her thing that she's not even healed yet. Like, it's a lot. Like, it takes a whole lifetime, right, to like healing. So I want to say when I was about 14, I was acting out, like smoking weed, getting high. I was in a gang. I was promiscuous, cutting school, cutting class. Like, I mean, you're not thinking, oh, why am I doing this? Not at 14. You're not thinking, whoa, why am I doing all of this, right? But you're acting out because of the pain. You're acting out because of the trauma. You're acting out because you don't have love, right? Now, my grandmother's was there for me, but it's a difference, right? Your grandparents have like unconditional love for you, right? And when your parents are not there, my dad died when I was 3. Well, he was murdered. My dad was a hustler. He was selling drugs and he was murdered. So somebody murdered him, right? So I grew up without my father, my real father. Now, my mom, I'm grateful for that. She put my stepfather in place, for me. And I'm still, me and my stepfather, we still cool. I still love him. He's alive, still to this day. So at 14, so I didn't know, right, that, I was acting out because of these things. So my grandmother, when I was 14, she took me to therapy. And the therapist said to me, she said, why do you think you're doing these things? I said, well, nobody's paying attention to me. Like, so it's like, I'm doing stuff for, attention, like, to get attention. Of course, it's the negative attention, but it's still attention. Like, attention is attention, right? And she started to ask me things about my mom and my dad and, family stuff. And I could remember her saying that your mom, if your mom doesn't get help, somebody's going to get hurt. I remember her saying that. The therapist that I went to. I don't know, lady at this today. Like, that was 20, 30 years ago. So she said, if your mom doesn't get help, she's going to hurt somebody badly, right? And at 14, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, all right, whatever, right? So it wasn't until, right, that's my first encounter with therapy. And the thing about therapy, you got to be ready for therapy. At 14, I'm not ready for therapy. I'm not ready to do the work. I'm not ready to dig deep and think about my ancestors and cry and ask God. I'm not thinking about that, right? But it wasn't until I got pregnant with my oldest daughter, who's 23 right now. It kind of woke me up a little bit. And it was like, well, you have a human being growing in you. And you got to take care of this person. And I remember the relationship me and my mom had. And it wasn't a relationship. She always yelled. She always screamed. We always got beat. Like, it was situation after situation after situation where I didn't feel love. This is why I was acting out so much, right? Had to take care of my little brother. Like, I was, taking him to school, picking him up, because my mom, she couldn't. Like, she was working 6 to 6. She had a job, to take care of us. So she really didn't know how to show love. So she growing up wasn't love. My grandmother had 6 kids. It's like somebody gonna fall through the crack. And unfortunately, it was my mom who fell through the crack. And she had 2 kids, and I guess she did her best trying to take care of her children. But when I found out that I was pregnant, now I was like, wow, I gotta have this baby. I gotta take care of this baby. I gotta provide for this baby, feed this baby, clothe this, like. So I'm yelling and screaming at my baby. She 2 years old. She 3 years old. And this is around the time when, I was kind of like graduating from college and, like all of this stuff. So I'm like, why am I doing that to my daughter? Like, I don't, like, this is a little baby. Like, why am I screaming at her? Like, why am I cursing at her? Like, and it didn't click that, oh, this is what my mom did to me. I didn't realize this until I had my second daughter. So it took me another 8 years, right? Because I had my second daughter 8 years after I had my first daughter. Well, 7 years. So I didn't realize all of this, right? So I'm like, I'm yelling at my daughter, screaming at my daughter. Like, it's just too much. Even to this day, when my oldest daughter turned 18, she told me about all the stuff that I did to her. I screamed at her, cursed at her. I was like, wow, right? So I had to make a decision. And I started praying to God. Now, I don't know if I was praying right, but I had to make a decision and say, God, I don't want to be like my mother. I don't want to not have a relationship with my daughter. I don't want to be beating my kid for no reason. I don't want, to be yelling and cursing at my kid and telling my kid they ain't shit. Like, my mom used to literally tell me, you ain't shit. I told her one day I got raped. She was like, oh, good. How does that feel? Like, why would you say that to your 14-year-old daughter, bro? But again, hurt people, right? So I had to really dig deep. And I had mentors. I had groups of people that I was able to now hang around. I was in therapy, well, in and out of therapy. Because therapy, if you're not ready for it, it's not going to work. So I was in and out of therapy. And I had to dig deep and say, why does this happen? Right? Why am I like my mother? Why am I beating my daughter? Me and my mother don't have no relationship. I don't see the lady. I don't talk to the lady. I don't check for the lady. She don't check for me. None of that. And I used to be depressed. Like, damn, my mom don't want me. My mom don't like me. But my mom this. My mom is mean. But guess what? She don't like herself. She's mean to herself. She don't like what she's doing. She don't like the situation she's in. So she can't show love. When you love, you show love. When you don't love yourself, you can't show love to other people. And I remember when I got married, and I was pregnant with my second daughter. And I went to the Justice of Peace. Me and my husband had no big wedding. We went right to the Justice of Peace, signed the paper, paid $65, put our hand on the Bible and said, I do. And I remember coming home because my grandmother had a house and my mom lived on one floor. Everybody lived on different floors. And I came home and I'm like, oh, I'm married. She was like, and? I was kind of like laughing inside, like, don't people congratulate people when they get married? Aren't people happy? Right? But I didn't understand all of this. Right? I understand it now. Right? I understand it now that she wasn't happy for herself. She was homeless. She was beat down. She was, the black sheep. Nobody checked for her. Nobody's still checking for her. She don't have a spouse. She don't have a husband. She don't have a sisterhood. She don't have mentor. Like, that makes a difference. It makes a difference. Now I know that I've healed through that because right now I would have been crying, bawling in tears. I actually feel sorry for my mom because she didn't get the healing she needed. She didn't get the love she needed. She didn't get the affection that she needed. So that does put a damper on your spirit. That does make you mad and bitter and upset. It really, truly does. But I realize that now. I'm 41. I didn't know that at 12 and 15 and 25 and 30. I didn't know that. Right? So I did a lot of digging. I got around sisterhoods. I got around therapists. I got around people operating at a higher energy level than me. I got into business where now business is all about community, right? I saw these things firsthand and realized all of my faults. And I had to start making little changes, and it was hard, right? I had to start making the little changes, like not yelling at my kid. Right, not hitting her, not getting mad off the fly, not being defensive. A lot of us have defensive spirits. Like we jump quickly. Like soon as somebody say something, we ready to argue. Social media is nothing but defensive, unhealed people. Okay? So I had to realize, my faults, right? And I had to humble myself, right? Because one thing about it, if you don't humble yourself, life will humble you. I'm just here to tell you. If you don't humble yourself, there's going to be a situation in your life that's going to make you humble yourself, right? So I started to ask God to heal me. I started to ask God, and I had to do the work. Crying, I can't sleep, asking God for forgiveness. Please, God, forgive me. I don't want to be like my mom, like crying for days and months, right? Trying to build myself up, because if you don't heal yourself, you become bitter. You become worse every year. You start getting jealous and envious of others. You start putting yourself in bad situations. All right? So I had to humble myself, and it took a while to learn how to humble myself too, right? Because even when I had my second daughter, I still was yelling, screaming, and cursing and all that. And I got married too, right? I'm yelling and screaming at my husband like he a kid. Like, bitch, who the fuck is you talking to? Because, honey, I'm a grown-ass man, right? So I had to learn. I'm telling you guys, I had to learn how to be a wife. Had to learn how to be a woman. Had to learn how to be a mother. I had to learn how to be a money manager. I had to learn how to cook. I had to learn how to clean. I had to learn how to conduct myself. I had to learn how to heal. I had to learn how to be better. I had to learn how to get better every single day. I had to read. I had to attend seminars. I'm spending $5,000, $10,000 to go to seminars to learn how to be better. What? I never in my life thought I would have spent $5,000, $10,000 to go to no doggone seminar, right? But that was a part of me investing in my healing journey, right? Everything ain't all about entertainment. Life ain't easy. And if we don't identify our problems and issues, it just continues. If we don't identify our problems, right? And our issues now, it's going to be hard for us to grow and help the next generation. That's why my event, March 16th, is key. God gave me that vision. And God said, women need healing. Women need healing. We don't need to turn up. We don't need drinks. We don't need strippers, right? There's enough of that shit. Right? We need to be healed so that we can get the bitterness out of our heart, so we can get the defensiveness out of our heart, so we can get the anxiety out of our heart, the depression. We need to put death to depression, death to anxiety, death to bitterness. We need to put life to getting better. We need to put life to growth. We need to put life to investing Start putting life on the things that matter. My heart matters. So let me put some life into my heart. Sleep matters. So let me do some things so that I can get some proper rest. Going to the gym matters. Your physical health matters. Your love matters. You being happy matters 1,000,000%. Right? Because when you're not healed, you're not happy. And when you're not healed, you really can't hear from God. You can't really hear because you're too defensive and you're too busy crying and begging. That's what I found myself doing, crying and begging. And I'm still on the healing journey. Right? But God will use the worst of the worst. Help me get through it to help other people. Yeah, I got mommy issues. But my daughters ain't gonna have no mommy issues. My mom was never married, or she got married and just never got divorced. Her and her spouse, they just separated. Right? I'm not going to do that. Me and my husband ain't getting no divorce. That's not even in our vocabulary. Right? My mom used to always say, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. So as a teenage girl, I thought I was broke. I didn't know what that meant either. As a grown-ass woman now, I'm not broke. My kids ain't broke. My husband ain't broke. My household ain't broke. I don't got no broke mindset no more. I ain't got no broke heart. Right? So we got to start identifying these little simple things, guys, that can make a big difference. Right? And that's a part of healing. Right? Recognizing. Right? And being aware so we can move forward the right way. Right? Not just moving forward and pushing and putting everything up under the rug. Really loving on you, really taking care of you, really attending events that can help you to win and get around the right sisterhood, right? A lot of times women are very catty, they very hating, and you know what I'm saying? They always mad at the next chick. It's because you ain't healed, sis. You looking the next chick up and down, you mad because she got a cute bag, or you mad because she got cute nails. You ain't healed, sis. Simple. That's why you need to get in the room of other women who are healed or who can share their story or their healing journey so that you can get some insight, so you can apply those things to your life, so you can go and be better, so you can find your husband, so you can treat your children better, so you can treat your parents better, so you can treat, people in general better. I see people treat people bad, terrible. You ain't healed. There's no reason that people got road rage the way they do. You're a perfect stranger. Oh, they cut you. People got road rage out the ass. No, you're not healed. How can someone who cut you off make you so mad that you're ready to kill them? No, baby, you ain't healed. Healing. We need healing more than ever now. COVID was an issue, right? How many people we lost? We grieving. We need healing from, right? From us being beat and babies ripped from our wombs. We need healing from. We need healing from financial trauma. You shouldn't have a job and been working every day, 5, 6 days a week, 8 to 10 hours, 12, 15 hours a day, and you don't have $50 and you don't have $200 to invest in yourself. You ain't got $200 to get some books. You ain't got $100 to get a course to help you change your life. You ain't got money for a flight to go help change your life. But you got money for weed and drugs and shit that's going to help you to keep destructing yourself. But again, when you are not healed, you're trying to mask the pain. So you want to spend all kind of money on liquor. You want to spend all kind of money on drugs, right? Because you're trying to mask the pain. But why not spend some money on yourself to learn about yourself? So that you can start doing the work, so you can get better, so you can grow, so your children can grow, so you can grow, so your finances can grow. That's what I had to learn. That's why I'll never be broke another day in my life. That's why I came up with a book for children, right? I'm be working on my other book this year, right? Now I can say I have a good relationship with my children. I have a good relationship with my husband. I got a good relationship with God. I got a good relationship with myself. Because I love Tanisha. And I have standards. And I'm not just going to let anybody say anything whenever the hell they want to. Healing takes time, and healing is a long journey. But I'm glad I did it, right? Because I have a better heart, and I pray every day. God, let me have a contrite heart. I don't want to be bitter. I want my heart to be filled. I want my heart to be in it. That's why I love bringing people together, because I know that we need this type of stuff. We need to be in rooms with other people who are thriving and not just trying to survive. Life is to be lived, not to be struggled through. Life is to be lived. It's a game of life. Now, you got to know how to play the game to win. Life is not to be struggled through and cheated through. So life is about what you do today that can make a better tomorrow. I invite you to come to my Women's Wealth and Wellness event. And I named it Women, Wealth, and Wellness, because we need to focus on our wellness. We need to focus on our wealth. Wellness, right? Women, Wealth, and Wellness. Last year we had 75 people registered. I think we had about 40, 50 women come, and everybody had a great time. This year we want 75 people. Now, 90% of the room is going to be women. Men will be there too, but this is a women's event, right? But the men will definitely be able to benefit from the resources, okay? So, March 16th, 2025, from 2 to 8, invest in yourself. Even if you got to take a plane, that's investing in yourself. People go to take a plane to go get drunk. People taking planes to go get married in Pakistan. Take a plane to learn how to come get healed. What is that worth to you? Come take a plane to come learn how to get healed. Learn how to get rid of your defensive spirit. Learn how to get rid of your anxiety. Learn how to minimize your depression. Learn how to get some real money, your own money. Right? Spend a bag on that. Right? Because investing in yourself is the best investment. Spending time with yourself and God. Spending money on you to get better is the best ROI you will ever see. I want more women to be healed. I want more women to be married. I want more women to be millionaires. I want more women to become better. But you have to start with you. And the time is now. It's 2025. Okay, you may watch this video in 2-3 years. The content still works. Okay, next year we plan a whole different type of event. Okay, God gives me the vision, right? I talk to people about it. People want to get on board with the vision. And now we're able to impact lives everywhere. So March 16th, hopefully I get to see you guys. That's a part of my healing journey, guys. And I want to hear your healing journey. How are you actually healing for the better? Love you guys. At Coach Tanisha Marie. See you guys soon.